Hey folks, so what the hell happened on the market today? What the hell happened? Why did the stock market plunge, the biggest it's ever plunged since 2008? Why did the oil price go down by roughly 30%? What in the world is going on? Well, if you tune into this channel, you know that we have an understanding of what's going on that you won't get anywhere else. We have an analysis rooted in dialectical materialism, rooted in Marxism and Marxist economics, where we can explain this kind of thing. Other folks can't do that, right? If you know your understanding of economics is neoclassical, if you're reading Adam Smith, this shouldn't happen, right? The magical market should solve all problems. Well, the magical market is in a huge crisis right now, and I'm about to tell you why. Here's what's going on. First of all, the oil price has shot down because at this point there is a slow demand. There's a slowing of demand. The coronavirus, people aren't going out as much, countries are not, importing as much oil. There's been a slow in demand. So in response to that, we had the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia come forward and basically announce that they are trying to create what they call, a halt in production. They want to cap production of oil. They want to basically cap production of oil and do it for the purpose of keeping the price high. They want to cap production. They want all the OPEC countries, all the oil-producing countries, to cap production. And the problem with that is that the United States is not a member of OPEC, right? The United States is not a member of OPEC. So the United States would keep selling oil at the same rate, right? They wouldn't cap production. The United States would keep exporting oil while all the OPEC countries would slow down their oil production. What would this result in? This would result in U.S. oil-producing companies, primarily shale frackers, making lots of money while all the OPEC countries took a big cut. So Russia, being a member of OPEC, said no to that. Russia said they are not going to go along with it. They said, look, right? It's not fair that the United States gets to keep making money and we all slow our production and slow our exports, in order to keep the price high. So because of that, the Saudis responded by flooding the market and dropping the price by 30%. They're angry. The Saudis are essentially angry that Russia will not go along with their scheme to bail out American shale companies, right? The fracking companies basically have asked Saudi Arabia to bail them out, cap production in all the OPEC countries, and basically, take a hit so that American fracking companies can make a huge amount of money. Russia not having it. So in response to that, Saudi Arabia drops the oil price. But this has bigger implications than you would think. Why? Because these shale companies are now taking a huge loss on the market, a huge loss. And they're already drilling on credit. They were already having trouble paying back their loans. If these banks that have loaned all this money to fracking companies stop getting paid back, they're going to stop lending. They go under. And pretty soon there's going to be credit in other parts of the U.S. economy that's not going out. Pretty soon there could be a freeze in other production. This could go completely out of control. You can bet that Donald Trump is on the phone right now with all kinds of people trying to get this under control. Demand is slowing down globally because workers are also consumers. And the capitalists of the world have been constantly driving workers out of the assembly line, replacing workers with machines. And as a result of that, as a result of the fact that workers have been pushed out of the assembly line, that workers have been replaced with machines, that the means of production is advancing, technology is getting more efficient ever. We can produce oil, through fracking more efficiently than ever, and drilling. We can produce, iPhones and iPads and different products more efficiently than ever. Artificial intelligence, the machines do not need appendages anymore. Karl Marx talked about workers as appendages to machines. Well, we're in a situation where the machines no longer need appendages, but workers are also consumers, and the global working class cannot afford to keep buying products at this point. We've been pushed out of the means of production. This is a crisis of capitalism. This is the inherent instability of capitalism that Marx wrote about in Capital. You read the different works of Karl Marx. He talks about this. This is the essential thesis of Marxism, that the capitalist is trying to produce products as efficiently as possible and the worker is displaced and doesn't have the ability to keep buying the product he produces. This is overproduction. John Maynard Keynes called it underconsumption. This is the inherent instability of the capitalist system. This is profits in command. When you have production organized for profit, not for human need, you're going to have crises like this. And if Donald Trump doesn't get this under control by November, it's very likely he'll be defeated by a Democrat. This is a wild situation. Donald Trump has been boasting it's the best economy in the world. The economy has never been as good as it is right now. And we are facing a crisis here, right? Already we've got a crisis of low wages in the United States. We've got crumbling infrastructure. Water's not being purified. Roads are falling apart. They're unpaving the roads in different parts of the United States. This is the meltdown of profits in command and free markets gone mad. This is a wild situation. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be giving you updates.